Hi, I'm Carly Winters, and I'm giving my final individual presentation for CIT 260. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the static class variable. When using static, it means that you have access to members without it being an object. Static members are common for all instances or objects. So as you can see on the left here in the picture, I have two static variables. The first being land base, the other being land range. And then if you look in calc land cost, we actually have it used in one of the equations. So we were able to use those variables without having to turn them into an object first. So for non-static classes, these members are separate for each instance of class. For list menu view, we did have to turn that a little into an object before being able to reference it for the class. An array is a fixed length that contains primitive values like byte, short, int, long, float, double, boolean, and char or objects created from classes. All the elements within an array must be of the same data type. Arrays let you change or modify items and are referenced by an index position, which we'll talk more about index positions in a few slides. An array list, it is a class that is created so that you can either add or take out elements. And these elements can be different data types. However, they have to be converted to an object first. The elements in this list are also referenced by index. For your enums, this is a special type of class. They are fixed constant list. Values or objects, whichever one you're using, it can't be both. It has to be one or the other because it is required that they are the same data type. They have to be assigned to their positions, which also means they are not referenced by index. However, these elements, once they are in the list, cannot be changed because they are constant. And like I said, they are not referenced by index because when the element within a list is created, it is assigned by name to that list. Example of using a for statement and index. So as you can see, I have in the top left-hand corner, that's just what you're going to be expecting to see when you outprint the list. And in the bottom, the bigger picture, we have a try and catch, and within the try, we have a for statement. So it's for int I equals 0, I is less than tool size, and I plus plus. So going through that really fast, int I is equal to 0, I is less than tool size, I plus plus. So when we're going in an array, each position has a number assigned to it. So unlike humans, computers start with 0. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I is less than tools dot size. That just means I needs to be less than the name of the array, which is tools, and size just means the length of the array. So it has to be less than the tool array length. And finally, you have I plus plus, which just means incrementation, which means it's going up. Because I'm using plus signs here, it knows that it's going up. If I had done I minus minus, it would have been an incrementation down. So yeah, out of habit, I use I, but I is actually the same, stands for index. I like to use I. You could put index, you just have to make sure you're consistent. So int I would be int index equals 0, index less than tool size, index plus plus, and then make sure you also would change any other i's in the next line. You would make sure those are indexed as well. So you can use either one as long as it's consistent. And if you look down at the next line, if all of those requirements are met, then it will outprint the list. So going on to byte stream, a byte stream reads and writes binary data 1 byte at a time in sequential order. In the original version of Java, byte streams were the only ones defined. They quickly added in character streams, though. And within the byte stream, you have two classes. You have an input and you have an output stream. So whether you're sending or receiving, it's going to be data that is read by the byte stream. Now for character streams, it reads and writes character data, regardless of the format. So there's the ASCII or the Unicode format. So no matter which one you're doing, Java recommends using character streams for all reading and writing of character data. So whichever one, character streams is the one that's reading characters. So before I go on to show you the game, I just wanted to go over really fast how to save the game. So you're going to want to create a document where information can be saved to, like I show in the upper right-hand corner. You're going to get the file path of that document. And when you're going through the Save Game menu, you'll just input the file path when it asks you to. And when you want to return to that game, you just have to go to start the Save a New Game, reference the file path, and you'll be able to resume playing where you were. So, instead of showing you a bunch of pictures of my game, I figured that I could just show you. So after clicking on the Run Project option, this is what pops up. So we're going to look at getting help on playing the game first. So one is the goals of the game, and it's just have a successful 10-year rolling. Starving too many people result in early ending of the game. Make sure to pay your tithes or else. And lastly, have fun. Going to option 2 of how do I view the map. The city of Erin is located in the map by entering a few different numbers in the row and columns or the X and Y coordinates. Under menu option 3, move to a new location to see where you end up. And next we're going to look at how do I move to a new location. And move to a new location, you will need to go to the game menu, click option 3, move to a new location. From there, you'll need to enter a row or X and then column or Y number, which will take you to a new location on the map. All right, so for displaying our list, you're going to go under the game menu. Option 2 is view print a list. By entering 1 or 2, you will be able to print or view a list. Your options are 1 to print a list, 2 to view a list. All right, so now we're going to go back to our main menu and we're going to start a new game. So this just is the greeting. So I'm going to enter my first name, Carly. And it just says, welcome, Carly, have fun. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to view our map. As you can see here, we have our map and then we have our key. So squiggly lines are river, exclamation points are farmland, money signs town, etc., etc. It's all right there. All right, next we're going to go back to the game menu and then we're going to view or print a list. And we're going to look at the tools in Storehouse. And in this case, we're going to just view it. If you want to print it, you would just enter that file path. That's all you would need to do. So for our tools in the Storehouse, hammer 12, screwdriver 3, axe 7, drill thing 4. And we're going to also glance at authors of the game just to see who wrote the game, which was my team and I, Hernan, Gianna, and I. And again, returning to our game menu, we're going to move to a new location. So enter the X coordinate 1 through 5. So we're going to do a 1. We're going to enter a Y coordinate. So let's do a 4. And it looks like you are in the forest. There's lots of trees. Enjoy the view. All right. Next up, we're going to manage our crops. So how many acres of land do you wish to buy? I will not buy any today. How many do you want to sell? I don't really want to sell any. Well, I guess I'll just sell 5 acres. All right. And then how many bushels of grain do you want to feed to the people? I'm going to feed them 800 bushels. And how many acres of land do you want to plant? Let's do 1,000. And oh, it looks like I tried to plant too much. So let's just do 500. And let's see, how much would you like to give in tithes? We're going to do 5. And then you get the annual report, and it just runs through all the numbers, and it'll tell you how many starved, how many you currently have population-wise, acres owned, bushels per acre, things like that. All right, so finally we're gonna go back to our main menu. And before we quit, we're going to save a game. So you're gonna enter your file path. And then depending on if that file path was correct or not, it'll tell you the game has been saved, or it'll give you an error message just letting you know, like, hey, something went wrong. And so, yeah, that is, I'm going to quit out really fast. That is our game, and I hope everything was really great information, and that's my presentation. Bye.